Right now, someone in your life already knows exactly what you will do next. They predicted your reaction before you felt it. That is why they keep winning. Every text you send on time, every laugh you give too freely, predictable. You think you are being kind. They see a pattern they can use. While you stay the same, they study you. They map you. They move. The most dangerous thing about you right now is how easy you are. Easy to please, easy to read, easy to replace when you stop being useful. You have trained the people around you to expect your surrender in advance. And the worst part? You feel it happening and you call it loyalty. Stop. Feel that weight in your chest. That is the cost of being known. Somewhere tonight, in a room you will never enter, your name sits inside a plan you were never shown. They are counting on the one thing they know about you. You will comply. Predictability feels safe, even warm. But that comfort is the quiet leash they hold, and they know it well. You are not respected. You are scheduled, slotted, counted upon. And the difference between those two things is everything. Think of the one person you would never make wait. They know it. Your eagerness is a confession spoken without words. And confessions, once heard, are always saved and used against you. Tonight you will learn the precise moment your openness stopped protecting you and quietly became their sharpest advantage over you. And why the cure is the most uncomfortable thing you will ever do. Become unreadable, become unscheduled, become something they can neither price, predict, nor quietly fold into their own convenient plans. Every single advantage they hold over you begins in the same place, with exactly how predictable you have allowed yourself to become. You feel it now, the small humiliation of being so easily handled. Good. Hold that feeling. It is the first honest thing you have felt today. The people who win against you are not smarter. They are simply less obvious. They hide their next move behind a still face. You broadcast yours like a town crier shouting in an empty square. By the end of this, you will move in ways no one can follow. But first you must see how deep the predictability has rooted in you. It is not merely a habit you fell into. It is a cage you built and then decorated with your own hands. Tonight, you take the key back. Tonight, you stop being easy to win. Do not look away. Everything you avoid feeling is exactly what controls you. So sit still, breathe slowly, and let me show you the exact, unglamorous reason they keep winning while you keep waiting. Listen, the exhaustion you carry is real. You have been giving for years. You showed up, you stayed kind, you kept your word when others did not. And somehow, after all of it, you still end up overlooked, outpaced, and quietly used by people who smiled throughout. You have lain awake asking yourself what is fundamentally wrong with you. So hear this next sentence clearly and let it land. Nothing is wrong with you. The problem was never your character, your heart, or the honest effort you so freely gave. The problem is the invisible system you were handed as a child and taught to trust completely, without ever once questioning it. You were told that goodness is always rewarded, that quiet patience earns its rightful place. You were told a comforting lie. That was not wisdom passed down. It was a leash handed to the obedient. The people who taught you to be predictable benefit when you stay still. A man who can be predicted can be planned around, managed, maneuvered past, and when convenient, quietly erased from the picture. Your openness was never a weakness in itself, but you left it standing undefended, and the watchful simply walked right in. You gave access to your time, your trust, your patterns, freely, fully. And those who received your openness did not honor it as a gift. They studied it, mapped it, and used it. Every routine you keep becomes a door they already hold the key to. None of this was ever your fault. But starting from tonight, fault no longer matters. It quietly becomes your responsibility alone. The world did not conspire against you with hatred. It used you with ease. Ease is the true current of power, and you spent yours on others. Notice who never has to wonder what you will do. That is your captor. They sleep soundly at night, precisely because your unwavering loyalty removed every last trace of the uncertainty they might have felt. Uncertainty is the single thing the powerful genuinely fear, the one variable they cannot control. Remember that for the rest of tonight, you were taught to fear it too, to smooth it over, to reassure everyone. Every time you rush to reassure them, you quietly handed over certainty, and certainty about you is simply power over you. The system rewards the obedient with comfort and small praise, while it quietly reserves real, lasting power for the unreadable few. You have spent your whole life living on the comfort side of that line. Tonight, deliberately and fully awake, you cross it. But understand clearly what you are choosing to leave behind. The very people who quietly loved you most for your predictability. Some of them are not enemies. They simply needed you to stay small. Comfort and growth cannot share the same throne, no matter how badly you wish they could. Tonight, you must choose one. The unpredictable man is feared by his rivals, quietly courted by allies, and never, not once, taken for granted by anyone. He sets the terms because no one can guess where he will move next. That man is not crueler than you. He's simply harder to read. Everything you envy in the powerful begins with their refusal to be obvious. Strip away their wealth and titles, and one thing remains. They are mysteries. And mystery is not some gift of birth. It is something you can begin building tonight with nothing but quiet discipline. You do not need new money. You need a new pattern, or no pattern at all. The cage was never locked from the outside. It was locked from within. Your habits told the world your story before you ever spoke a word. Tonight, you close that book. You begin writing pages no one can read. But I will not lie to you. Becoming unreadable will cost you something. It will cost the praise you got for being easy, the thanks for being there, and in exchange it will give you back something you traded away long ago. Itself, you, the raw original version of you that existed before everyone else's expectations were quietly carved into your behavior. So before the 7 lessons begin, accept the full cost with open eyes. Power is never free, and it never has been, but predictability is the far more expensive purchase. It quietly cost you everything you ever wanted, slowly, year after silent year. One predictable day at a time, until there is nothing left to take. Now, let me introduce the man who first dared to write this truth down. 5 centuries ago, a man watched princes rise and fall like candle flames. His name was Niccolo Machiavelli. For 5 long centuries, they called him dangerous, even evil, and they were entirely right. He served the powerful. He watched them up close, and then he was betrayed, stripped of office, tortured, exiled to a small farm far from the courts. Most men would have broken. He sat down each night and wrote instead. Each evening he dressed in his finest robes to sit with the dead. He read the ancients and questioned them like living men across the table. And from that exile came a book the powerful tried for centuries to bury. It was banned by the church, dimmed from 1,000 pulpits, and his very name was twisted into a common insult. Why such fear of one exiled clerk with a quill and a candle? Because he refused, utterly, to flatter you with comforting tales of how the world should be instead of how it truly is. He told you only how it truly is, and that honesty terrifies the comfortable. He understood that power does not reward the consistent, it rewards the adaptable. He saw that the man who changes with the moment is impossible to trap. Here is the one truth from him I will give you tonight. Hold it carefully. Machiavelli wrote, "Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times." Read it again in your mind. Change his conduct, not his values, his patterns. Most men cling to one way of moving until the world moves on without them. The master keeps his ultimate aim fixed like a distant star, while keeping his methods forever shifting, fluid, and impossible to predict. Your enemies have been betting that your conduct will never change. In that bet, Machiavelli did not teach cruelty. He taught sight. He taught refusal to be naive. He wanted you to survive a world that punishes the gentle for being legible. That is why his book outlived every prince who feared it. Truth endures. Now his sight passes to you through this single screen in this single hour. Take what he learned in exile and use it before your own court turns. From here, no more theory. From here, the lessons. 7 of them, sharp. Each one removes a way that you currently leak your future to others. Do not merely listen. Decide which one you will begin tonight before sleep. The man who only learns stays predictable. The man who acts becomes the storm. So, lesson 1. The first pattern they are using against you right now. Lesson 1. The pattern is the prison. Your routine is a map drawn for your hunters. Here is what you do. The same coffee, the same reply speed, the same yes. You think consistency makes you reliable. To the watcher, it makes you solved. Picture your ordinary week laid out plainly. Anyone standing close to you could narrate your entire tomorrow without the slightest effort. That predictability is why your boss assigns you the work no one else wants. It is why the friend who always cancels still assumes you will be free. Why does this quietly happen to you? Because the human brain conserves its precious effort by predicting you and then ignoring you. Once someone can fully predict you, they quietly stop valuing you. You stop being a person and slowly become mere furniture. Predictable people are quietly managed and moved around like pieces. Unpredictable people are studied carefully, cautiously, and approached with real respect. The cruelty is that your best traits, loyalty, consistency, built the cage. We are not throwing away your virtues. We are taking back their timing. Here is what you do today. Break one fixed rhythm that others rely on. Reply later than usual. Take a different route. Say no where you always say yes. Watch closely what happens next. The very people who once scheduled you without a single thought will suddenly, nervously, pay attention. Their attention suddenly returning to you is the clearest possible proof of just how completely absent it had quietly become before. Do not explain the change in you to anyone at all. Explanation is surrender. It hands the pattern straight back. Let them wonder. Wondering is the beginning of respect you forgot you deserved. The first time you break your own pattern, your body will scream betrayal. That discomfort is not danger. It is the cage door scraping open at last. You were not born predictable. You were trained into it for someone's convenience. Untraining begins with one chosen surprise, then another, until you are wild again. Remember, the prison was made of habits, and habits can be unmade tonight. Mark this lesson in yourself before we move on. Make it a vow you can see. Lesson 2. Silence is leverage. Every word you give away is a move revealed. You over-explain. Silence. You confess your plans before they ripen. Recognize the moment. Someone asks your plan and you tell them everything instantly. You felt the silence as pressure, so you released it. They felt it as a gift. Why do you do it? Silence feels like conflict, and you were taught to soothe it. But the powerful let silence stretch until others rush to fill it with concessions. Silence makes you genuinely unreadable. They simply cannot counter, block, or sabotage a move that you never once announced aloud. Here is your action today. Answer one question with one sentence, then stop. Resist the urge to soften it, justify it, or fill the quiet that follows. The silence after your sentence will feel like an hour. To them, like a verdict. Watch them fill it. In that filling, they reveal what you needed to know. Silence is not absence. It is the loudest signal of a man in control. Notice who is most uncomfortable when you go quiet. They relied on your noise. Your constant chatter was quietly feeding someone else's strategy this entire time. Starve it completely, and then watch that strategy stall. There is a difference between secrecy and silence. Secrecy hides. Silence simply waits. The waiting man chooses his moment. The chattering man hands his moment away. Begin small. One conversation today, where you say less than you feel you should. Each withheld word is a coin returned to your own treasury of power. And understand this clearly before you go any further. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. Never once forget that line. You silence yourself not to wound others, but to stop arming those who would wound you. Master silence, and you will never again be the easiest source of information in the room. Carry this into your next exchange. Let the quiet do the work your words once spoiled. Seal this lesson into yourself now, where the old chatter used to live. Lesson 3. The delayed response. Your instant reply is a leash you hand them daily. You answer within seconds. You jump at every call. You make yourself instantly available. You believe speed shows you care. To them, it shows you have nothing better to do. Think of who you always reply to first. They have learned your reflexes by heart. Why this happens? Anxiety. The unanswered message feels like a debt you must clear. But the powerful sit comfortably in that debt. They reply when it serves them, not you. A delayed response says your time has weight, that your attention must be earned. Here is the action. The next non-urgent message, let it sit. Reply on your schedule, not out of rudeness, out of rhythm. You answer from your center, never their pull. The delay creates a small space. In that space, your value quietly rises. Beware. Do not weaponize silence against those who genuinely depend on your care. The delay is for the manipulators, not the loyal. Learn the difference precisely. When you finally answer, keep it calm and brief. No apology for the delay. An apology returns the power you just claimed. Let the delay simply exist, unexplained. Notice the shift. The one who summoned you instantly now waits with new attention. That reversal is the whole lesson. The waiter and the awaited have traded places. Your speed was never service. It was a habit that taught the world to rush you. Reclaim the tempo of your own life. Decide when you arrive and when you respond. The first delays will feel like guilt. Sit inside that guilt without flinching. Guilt is just the old leash tugging. Each time you ignore it, the leash thins. Soon, responding on your own time will feel as natural as breathing once did. You are not ignoring the world. You are refusing to be its instant reflex. Hold the pause. Own the tempo. Move to the next pattern they exploit in you. Lesson 4. Never reveal the next move. Announced plans are plans already defeated. You broadcast your ambitions. You tell everyone what you will do before you do it. You think sharing the goal makes it real. It only gives others time to block it, recognize it. You said I'm going to, and watched the resistance appear at once. Why hold it back? Because every plan you state aloud instantly invites correction, doubt, quiet sabotage, and sudden new competition. The unannounced plan moves in darkness, finished before anyone thinks to stop it. Here is your action. Choose one current goal and tell no one its true shape. Let your results speak when the work is already done and impossible to undo. When asked your plans, answer with motion, not maps. Show direction, never the route. There is honor in this. You protect the fragile beginning from careless hands. A seed announced is a seed dug up by every curious or jealous passerby. Concealment is not deceit. You owe no one a live broadcast of your becoming. Watch how this unsettles those who fed on knowing your every intention in advance. Their frustration is information. It shows how much they relied on reading you. The most dangerous man in any room is the one whose intentions cannot be guessed. Build the habit of revealing only after, never before. Let the finished work testify. Each unspoken plan becomes a private fortress no rival can lay siege to early. You will be tempted to share for approval. Resist. Approval now costs you power later. Trade the small, fleeting warmth of telling everyone your plans for the vast, lasting advantage of simply surprising them. Instead, when you finally move, let it land like thunder no one heard gathering. That is the silence power of the hidden move. They cannot fight what they never saw. From today, your plans live behind your eyes alone until the moment they are done. Seal this lesson now. Make your next move a thing the world will never predict. Lesson 5. Change the rhythm. The man who moves the same way forever is already caught. You wake, work, rest, and speak in the same beat every single day of your life. Your energy peaks predictably. Your moods arrive on schedule. They have your timetable. They know exactly when you are tired, when you are weak, when to ask their favor. Why does sameness rule you? Because routine feels safe, and change feels like risk. Recall Machiavelli's lesson. Success belongs to the one who changes with the times. Changing your rhythm does not betray who you are. It hides where you will be. Here is your action. This week, deliberately scramble one part of your fixed routine. Work when you usually rest. Speak up when you usually stay quiet. Vary your beat. The goal is not chaos. It is to keep one variable they cannot pin down. When your rhythm shifts, those who timed their moves around you suddenly miss. Their missed grasp tells you who was timing you all along. The rhythm exposes them. A changing rhythm also revives you. Sameness dulls the mind. Novelty sharpens it. You will feel resistance from those who loved how reliable your timing made you. Their discomfort is the sound of a leash slipping. Do not rush to comfort them. You are not abandoning anyone. You are simply ceasing to be a fixed appointment. Vary not just your hours, but your responses. Sometimes warm, sometimes brief, unreadable. When your reactions cannot be predicted, no one can engineer them in advance. The river that quietly changes its course can never be dammed or controlled. So become flowing water, never predictable stone. Begin tonight. Move one fixed stone of your life and let the current find a new path. Each variation you add makes you harder to model, harder to use, harder to lose. Keep your aim constant, but let your conduct dance. That is the whole secret. Seal this lesson. Let your rhythm belong to you and to no one else who would use it. Lesson 6. Emotional opacity. Your visible feelings are a map straight to your levers. You show every reaction, your face, your tone, your sudden silence, all readable. Someone says one cutting word and your whole body announces that it landed. Why this happens? You were taught that hiding feelings is dishonest or cold, but the world is full of those who study your reactions to find your price. Show them what hurts, and you have handed them the exact tool to hurt you again. Opacity is not coldness. It is a calm surface over a sea you alone may see. Here is your action. Next time you are provoked, let your face stay perfectly still. Feel absolutely everything inside, as deeply as you wish, but reveal nothing outside. Let your practice stillness become an unbreachable wall. The provoker waits for your reaction like a payment. Give them nothing to collect. Your stillness starves their game. A button that no longer works is soon abandoned. This is not suppression for its own sake. Choose your moments to reveal yourself. With the worthy, open the gates. With the predatory, raise the unreadable wall. Opacity gives you time. While they guess your feeling, you have already chosen your move. The unreadable face is not lying. It is simply refusing to be an open ledger. Practice in small moments. A neutral face when criticized. A calm tone when baited. Each calm response builds a reputation. This one cannot be rattled or read. A man who cannot be read cannot be reliably manipulated. That is your shield, but never let the wall harden inward. Behind it, stay fully, fiercely alive. The mask is for the world. The face beneath it stays warm for those who earn it. Begin with one provocation today. Meet it with stillness and watch your power grow. Hold your face, hold your fire within. Then move to the final, hardest lesson. Lesson 7. The strategic exit. The man who will never leave has already lost. You stay too long. In jobs, in rooms, in bonds that quietly stopped honoring you. Because you stay no matter what. They know they can take, and you will remain. Why do you stay? Fear of the unknown, and the sunk cost of all you have given. But the willingness to leave is the deepest source of leverage you own. The moment you can walk, the terms change. They begin to negotiate, not dictate. Here is your action. Identify one place you stay only from fear, and prepare your exit. You need not leave today. You need only become a man who genuinely could build the exit. Save the means. Know the other doors. Carry your freedom like a key. Those who once took you for granted will feel the ground shift beneath them. A guest who may leave is honored. A prisoner who cannot is merely used. The strategic exit is not running away. It is refusing to be held by inertia. Sometimes the most powerful sentence you will ever speak is simply, "I am leaving." Say it without anger. Power needs no shouting. The calm exit is the loudest of all. Even if you choose to stay, choose it freely, never from the fear of going. Staying by choice and staying by fear look the same outside but feel opposite within. Reclaim that single freedom to walk away. And every relationship in your entire life is silently, instantly, and permanently renegotiated. You stop chasing. You become the place worth arriving at. They begin to pursue you. This is the summit of unpredictability. They can never be sure you will still be there. And that one small uncertainty about you quietly restores everything they slowly took during all the long years you stayed. 7 lessons, 7 patterns broken, 7 doors out of the prison you decorated. Each one alone unsettles them. Together they make you something they cannot solve. Seal the final lesson. Become the one they travel toward, never the one who chases stop. Feel where you are now compared to where you began this hour. The man who pressed play was predictable, solved, scheduled, easy to win against. That man no longer exists. The old you is dead. Let his predictability die with him. In the place where he once stood now stands someone unreadable, unscheduled, untrackable, and, for the very first time, free. They built their wins on knowing you. Now their certainty turns to ash in their hands. Every leash you let them hold. Silence, speed, openness, sameness, all severed tonight. You are no longer the easy answer in anyone's plan. You are the variable they fear. Understand the full weight of what you now hold. This power cuts in both directions. You are a weapon, pointed at your own future. Choose now where you aim that future. Aim it at the life they told you was impossible. Aim it at the throne you abandoned. Not their throne, yours. The one your predictability quietly handed away years ago. Feel the fear rising. Good. Fear means you finally have something worth defending. The comfortable will call you cold. The users will call you changed. Let them. Their discomfort is the receipt for power you just took back from their hands. You belong to no one. Not to their schedules, their expectations, or their convenience. You belong to no one, and so for the first time, you finally belong to yourself. Remember the cost. This power is a shield against predators, not a sword for the innocent. Use unpredictability to guard your peace, never to torment those who never harmed you. The predictable man spent his whole life quietly begging to be valued by others. The unpredictable man simply, effortlessly is. Tonight you stop asking to be chosen. Tonight you become the one who chooses. Feel your spine straighten. Feel the old eagerness burn away into clean, cold resolve. The next time they reach for the predictable you, their hand will close on nothing. And in that empty space where you used to be, they will finally see your power. This is not the end of who you are. It is the death of who they made you. The old you is dead. Say it inside until you believe it in your bones. You are a weapon, pointed at your own future. And finally, your aim is true. You belong to no one. You answer the summons of no master but your own purpose. Carry these 7 truths like blades sheathed at your side, ready and unseen. From this hour, let no one ever again narrate your tomorrow before you live it. You are unreadable now. You are sovereign now. Now, one last thing remains. I will not ask you to subscribe. Asking is what the old you did. Subscribing is simply you deciding to keep this fire. The choice was always yours. Those who stay will sharpen. Those who drift will return to being red. If this fire belongs in your life, you already know what your hand will do. So tell me below, who in your life will notice first that you became unreadable?